Why are we so hard on ourselves about our past mistakes and stuff? We try, we fail, we fall. We try, we fall, we get up, we shift. We try, maybe it becomes the one thing that shifts our life forever. It's been a whole year since I went all in on my dreams and my desires, and it ended up even better than I could imagine, besties. These are the 3 things that allowed me to manifest my dream life. Number 1, shift your energy to shift your life. Who I used to be is not gonna get me the things that I want as this new version of myself. The thing that separates the successful people from the dreamers is that they don't wait for these things to be handed to them. They don't wait for the sign, for the confirmation that they're worthy of going after their dreams. They start showing up before it makes sense. They start putting in the reps, putting in the work, even when nobody is clapping. I remember when I started posting, when I first moved to California with my hubby, I would ask my friends, ask my brothers to like my stuff, to share it. In the beginning, I would get so angry when they would doubt me, when they would tell me, Lua, you're being too delulu. The first mistake I ever made is allowing their opinions to mean something about me. This is the second thing that shifted. Realizing that it is my responsibility to birth my dreams into reality. My vision belongs to me and nobody else. And the same thing goes for your vision and your desires. In the beginning, when it was all crickets, I can admit, climbing Cringe Mountain was very nerve-wracking. And the thing is, when we're showing up in ways that we're not used to, when we're taking up more space and playing with visibility, of course, fears and doubts are gonna pop up. When you feel those icky feelings, it's not because you're not worthy of it, it's because it's new to you, bestie. It's like going to the gym. When you first go and you try to lift a 100-pound dumbbell, of course it's gonna be heavy, but the more you show up, the more reps you put in, the more consistency, sooner or later you're gonna be able to squat that 100-pound dumbbell. And that's one thing I had to learn in the beginning. I had to be hella delulu with it. I had to release the belief that I had to be understood. Part of me was seeking validation, the little Lua, the inner child. And when I realized that, I was like, wait a minute, what am I doing, Lua? What are you doing? This is your dream. That's where your power comes in. You know how people say, you have the power to be the change you desire for your life. That power is sourced from within. I invite you to think of times in your life where you were going through things that you didn't think that you would go through, whether it was a breakup, whether you lost your job, whether it was a fight with a friend, times where you had to find money to pay the bills. When your back was against the wall, those skills that you learned through the struggle, those skills that you learned through those very, very tough times are what are priming you and shifting you and evolving you into the person, into the leader that you were meant to be. And that's one thing I learned in the beginning. I had to let it go and be like, you know what? Even if they're sleeping on me, maybe, just maybe, they're not my aligned people. But the more that I showed up, you know who did support me? You know who were my people? Strangers from around the world. Your people are not in your current environment. If they are, if that's the case for you, then you are lucky. You're blessed. Love that for you, boo. But for me, and for most people, that's not the case, right? The people in your environment, the people from your childhood, your family, your friends are not your people. One thing that I realized on this journey, after 5 years of content creation, after constantly showing up myself, being hella delulu, which is the salulu, that there are people out there that are praying for you, for your unique message, your power, for the way you carry yourself, the energy that you exude, but you just haven't met them yet. The reason why you haven't met your people yet is because you haven't popped up on their timeline. It's so important to show up because it's in these seasons. I like to call it separation season, and I currently feel like I'm in separation season. Let me know if y'all resonate and if you're going through this, because I definitely have gone through this multiple times, again and again and again, where when I start going after my delulu, when I start taking up more space, when I started posting content, the followers kind of started dropping, friends kind of fell away. In the beginning, I remember I would be like, oh my gosh, what will they say? Oh my gosh, what will they think? And then I had to take a step back and be like, but what will future Lua say? What will future Lua think? And if these people cannot accept me for my truth when I rip off these masks and really do what brings me joy, then they're not my people. On this journey to my becoming, to my purpose, to being everything that I was placed on this earth to be, the more that I grow and evolve and I shift, it's either going to empower or trigger people. If they fall away, if they have something to say, then they just do not align with my journey. They just no longer deserve a seat at my table. There were times where I would start to notice people moving differently, and I'll be like, oh, what can I do to make them comfortable? What can I do to keep them around? And if y'all ever feel that way, where you're holding on either to a relationship, holding on to the job that's been draining you, holding on to these friends, whatever it may be, I'm here to tell you, bestie, that those things are holding you down from taking the next step on your staircase to success. Imagine this staircase, and where you are is like right here, and where you desire to be is at the top. You cannot take the next step. You cannot go forward if you're constantly looking back, trying to help people, trying to save people. And I'm not saying this to say, don't help your family, block everybody, be selfish, work on your... This is not the conversation. What I'm saying is, work on yourself. Put in the work now. Go all in on your dreams, so that when you reach that level of success, then you have the energy, you have the capacity to truly look back, look down, and pull anybody up that you are able to help. Maybe the reason why you look around and you cannot pull examples from your current environment is because God wanted you to be the one to pave the way and show people that just like you, if you make it through, so can they. Maybe the reason why you look around and your family don't understand, they don't see your vision, is because you were meant to challenge their belief system. And then when you succeed, then you give them permission to do the same. You give them permission to pull back the masks and go all in on who they were meant to be. The third thing that truly shifted my whole perspective and changed my entire life is in realizing it's never been about doing more, but rather being more. Who the world, who your family, who enter whatever name needs you to be is different from who you actually are, bestie. You know, growing up in the islands, growing up as the only girl with 6 brothers, there were times in my life where I feel like the beginning of my journey, my childhood coming up, there was like this armor that I started building and placing on myself to keep me safe. Times when I couldn't express my truth because I would be punished. Times where I had to say yes, because if I said no, then maybe it meant not getting the things that I needed. Like all the things that you had to do to survive, to keep you safe. You sort of build this armor, this protection, and I feel like the healing journey, it's all about peeling back those layers through giving yourself the things that you were deprived of and deserved as a child, because we have the power to do that, to reparent ourselves, to love ourselves, to peel back those layers, to reveal our truth. I remember when I started this content creating journey, the one thing that kept me from really going all in and stepping in front of the camera is the shame that I felt from past mistakes that I made before I was healed, before I was living in alignment. There were times where little Lua, younger Lua, wore that armor because she hadn't healed those scars from her childhood, the trauma, the pain from the past. She ended up bleeding onto others that didn't even hurt her to begin with. I would think like, oh my gosh, how about if they see my content and they tell me like, oh my gosh, she's a fake, she's a bony, what the heck? But the one thing that really liberated me from that shame and guilt is in realizing little Lua was really doing the best with what she had at the time. And the same thing goes for you in your life, bestie. You had to be that way. You didn't know any better because of the silent battles that you face, because of the things in your past that you probably don't even talk about. I had to forgive myself for a lot of those things. I had to give little Lua compassion and kindness and the love that she truly deserved, and realizing because I lived like that, now I know better. Your mistakes do not define you. Your failures do not define you. Like the one thing that is really your defining point. I'm like the queen of define. Define. The one thing that truly shows your character is who you become as a result. how you shift, how you evolve in the process. This is probably going to be another episode in itself. It wasn't until I learned to forgive myself, do the inner work, face my shadows, that I realized I'm just somebody's daughter. It's our first time on this earth being human. So why are we so hard on ourselves about not getting it right the first time? Why are we so hard on ourselves about our past mistakes and stuff? We try, we fail, we fall. We try, we fall, we get up, we shift. We try, maybe it becomes the one thing that shifts our life forever. So those are the 3 things that I started implementing and embodying on an energetic level, becoming, to truly transform my life, connecting to my truth, my soul's purpose, popping my shiz as a woman God sent me here to be, being able to be here in this space with y'all. If there's anything that resonated, feel free to drop it in the comments. Let me know what is coming up for you. This is like my favorite. I'm gonna leave you guys with this, my last analogy. If y'all are thinking like, maybe I should start tomorrow, maybe I this, that, and the third. Imagine getting to the end of your life, right? You're like in this conference room, and then like this person walks in. It's like God, universe, source. That person walks in, and in front of you in this conference room, there's this big flat screen, okay? And they're like, and this movie starts playing, this amazing life with all the fancy things, the luxury stuff. At the end of the movie, when it finishes, you look at the movie and you're like, excuse me, what was that? The higher power looks over at you and they're like, honey, that was the life that I had promised for you. This was the version of you that unlocked their fullest potential, but because you allowed your fears and your doubts and their opinions to hold you back, you never got to see it through. Knowing that this life is temporary, we only have one shot at it, unless you believe in reincarnation, how can we not run towards our dream life? Time is the only thing we have, besties. You can lose all your friends and find new ones. Like, I've lost so many friends over the years and found even more aligned friends and sisters. I've lost so many jobs and found another one. There are thousands and thousands of jobs out there. I've gotten my heart broken and ended up finding the one for me, finding my man. The one thing you can never get back is your time. You cannot buy it from someone else. You cannot borrow it. Once that time is up, that's all you have, bestie. Knowing that time is limited, what do you choose to do with the time that you have left? If y'all found this episode to be helpful, if it resonated in any way, please share what was your favorite takeaways. Feel free to share it with your best friend, your family member that would need this message and this reminder. I love you guys so much. Do not sleep on your potential. You are too worthy, you are too powerful to wait for things to happen. Go make it happen, bestie, because you got that power inside of you. Bye. See you next time.